The lovely Vaani is here from me, Hrishi K, and everybody at Radio 1. It's so wonderful to see you back in the movies.
Thank you. Thank you.
I remember this shy, beautiful girl who I first met before your debut. And it's wonderful to see that personally you haven't changed too much, but professionally so much has happened in your life, and a lot of it for the good. When you look back at that girl who was debuting in the movies to now, you know, with War, with these two big mainstream heroes in the same frame as you, how much have you evolved as a person, as an actor, as a professional? Tell us that, Vaani.
I feel as an actor, you know, because everything, should I hold? I don't like other people holding it. I'll hold it. I feel, you know, with every film that you get, every project for an actor is a growth, because you're working in a completely different environment with a new filmmaker, with a different set of, you know, beliefs and vision and, you know, characters and co-actors who come in with such different energy. So always, you know, the energy around you kind of, you adapt to it and you learn something from it. And even if you're not consciously trying to learn something, you're observing, and you're constantly observing at the back of your mind, subconsciously, it's getting into you, you know. So I feel Befikre taught me a lot. Shuddesi, of course, taught me a lot. Even the South film that I did taught me a lot. And this has also been a wonderful experience. You know, Siddharth Anand has been an absolute gem. He's been so kind to me. And, you know, supporting somebody at the time when, you know, you're not at the peak of your game, like, you know, peak of your career, and putting that faith in you with a film like this, which is so larger than life, and you have wonderful actors like Hrithik Roshan and Tiger Shroff in it. It's a great, it's just, I only have gratitude, you know, towards him and towards everybody. So yeah, it's been a wonderful experience working with all of these. Of course, Hrithik Roshan, you know, is a brilliant performer, and I feel like he's an even brilliant human being who's just so warm and lovely and supportive. Yeah, it's been great.
And Vaani, you always had the acting skill. I mean, even, you know, walking out of Shuddesi Romance, walking out of Befikre, I always knew that you were a natural performer. I mean, you just have it. Those are instincts. But the fact that you've worked on your physical structure, I mean, you look so beautiful, and you have Yasmin Karachiwala to thank for that. So just how much you've worked in terms of the Pilates and the yoga, the weights, just your training regime, if you could tell us about that.
Yeah. So for this film specifically, you know, because if you've seen the song that's come out, I have a section where I'm doing cyrwheel performance, and there's a bit of swing pole performance. So they haven't, like, I mean, once the whole song, when you see it in a film, you'll see a little more of an elaborate version of what I've done in the promo cut. But just for a one-day shoot, I had to rehearse at least for 2.5 to 3 months. Just to get my upper body strength for a swing pole. You know, the first day I still remember having absolutely no upper body strength. I couldn't even lift my body weight, you know, on a swing pole. I couldn't swing it. So it was terrible. So from there to making it look effortless and making it at least look believable that I know something like that, and not make it look like, oh my God, like, you know, it's all like all over the place, and she's just doing it because the choreographers asked her to do. I just wanted to, like, give my best for that. And then cyrwheel required a lot of body balance, so I had to do a lot of body balance workouts like Pilates and yoga, and then having a lot of core strength and understanding, you know, how your movements in a body can make or break the balance. So I did that, and I did a lot of pull-ups and push-ups, and I did 2 hours of training with Yasmin Karachiwala, who I am eternally thankful to, because she really made my body look like, made me look at my fittest, I think.
So, you know, I'm an old timer. You know, I've been around forever, and I've seen the evolution of Yash Raj heroines even before this office was ready, and, you know, in the earlier office, and then now when I see all you modern era heroines. And that legacy remains. I mean, you at the end of the day, you are a Yash Raj heroine, and that must feel so beautiful. You know, the legacy of Yash Ji, of Adi, and just the studio behind you must make you feel special.
Yeah, they feel almost like a family now, you know, strangely. Also, coincidentally, I've only worked with Yash Raj films so far, so they almost feel like my second home, you know. And people are so lovely here. Everybody, you know, every department you walk into, they're greeting with you love and smiles and warmth. And like, I love my manager, I love my talent head, I love everybody on set, you know, the marketing people. Everybody is like a family, like a very well close-knit family. So I don't see any politics, or the things that you hear when you enter an industry, that oh my god, like there's a lot of politics and this and that. Luckily, I'm pretty sure must be existing in parts and all, but I've been lucky enough to not witness it firsthand. And with a production house which is so reputable, of course, like I'm a huge Yash Chopra fan. I'm a huge Adi Chopra fan. I feel like he's such a wonderful mentor, and the advices that he gives you, they make so much sense to me. He doesn't talk like a businessman. He talks from his heart, and he makes sense when he says that and the thing that he respects people who respect themselves, and doesn't encourage you to sell yourself short just because there is a particular project out there, you need to be visible, you need to be doing this or that. All he says is be yourself, and present the person who you are, and don't fake it. There's no need to fake it. And the first thing I think he told me when we started working together, the first talent that he got in was Anushka Sharma. And he said, you give me so much of her vibe, because he said that she's also somebody, of course he thinks for everyone who he launches, but he said that I get those vibes from Anushka, that she's a solid girl, she doesn't give in to anything and doesn't sell herself short, and there's a lot of pride and self-respect. And he said that I feel exactly the same in you, and just be that person, be true to yourself. And that's exactly what my parents have always told me. So it's nicer when like-minded people, you meet and connect with people who are so right, I guess.
So with a surname like Kapoor, you're Punjabi.
Yeah, Punjabi.
And everybody who meets Sid Anand's, especially the Bombay boys, turn around and say, he's very Panju. So it must be nice, that again must feel like home, just hanging with a fellow Punjabi and exchanging stuff on the set and otherwise.
Sid's super chill. Sid is so chill, like he's more cooler than I am, for sure. And I had so much fun, like I think it's one of the coolest films I've been on, I've shot for, and I've never ever gone on set when I'm not shooting, ever. Even for Befikre, never. But I feel on this set, like when I was not shooting and these guys were shooting here at the studio, I would just walk in, drop by and be like, hey, what's happening? And just because the vibe and the energy is so good, and everybody is so cool and chill and relaxed and welcoming and loving, and it was just like a buddy zone where everyone's like having fun. So I feel a lot has to do with the filmmaker of this, he is the captain of the ship. I'm not saying there's not work happening or he's not disciplined when it comes to work, but he's also a very cool person, inherently cool to he knows how to have fun.
And here are these two actors. I mean, everybody knows about the bromance that Tiger and Hrithik share. Tiger constantly talks about how much he looks up to Hrithik and things like that, and they're both your co-stars in this film. And even though they're from different generations, they're incredibly hard-working guys. Tiger off-screen is a little shy, but then there's again two sides to that story. Some people say that he's a bit of a naughty chap also. Your reading of Tiger?
Yeah. So I haven't really worked with Tiger in the film. I don't really have scenes with him, but I've only worked with Hrithik Roshan. But I feel Tiger, whenever I've met him off set, he's been at his best behavior. I've seen the side. I don't know about the naughty side, because I've never really, maybe he's not really fully opened up or something. I've not seen that side yet. Whenever I see him so well mannered and very well spoken and polite and warm and friendly. I mean, he's a cool chill guy. He's my age and all. So he's but yeah, he brings out his best side. I've only seen the nice side of Tiger.
Actually, there is only a nice side, but some say he's Natkhat and Shararti, but you haven't seen that, is it? So what do you play in the film? What is your character? Just take us through that, please.
So they've given me very, there are instructions that I cannot reveal much about the character, but it's what I can say in most minimum adjectives is that she's just a warm, sweet girl that I'm playing, who's also very relatable. She's independent, and she's very critically linked to the storyline of the film.
I love the locales in Ghungru, the song. Where do you guys film it? And it looks just so gorgeous, like a picture postcard. Tell me about that.
Italy. It's Italy. It's Amalfi Coast. We shot in Amalfi Coast. We shot in Positano, and then I think when we ran out of budget, we went to Mud Island to shoot the rest.
So you're saying the Positano. Positano, as in the Amalfi Coast Positano? How cool is that?
Yeah, that's super cool. Like that was my first time. Like I'd never been to Italy before, so this for me was like the first time I went, and it was a lot of fun. And then I stayed back, and then I did my own little break.
That's so cool. So did you like backpack around Italy, and you know that the food is to die for?
Yeah.
Do you have your share of tiramisu?
Pasta in Italy. I think I had so much of pasta. Like there was every day pasta, and then I'm like, oh my god. Then when I flew back to Amsterdam to meet my sister, and then yeah, I was like, okay, enough of pasta. I stayed there for a very long time. We went to Lake Como. I've discovered Italy, and it's beautiful. And of course, like how people can also see it in the song. I think it's a must go to place at least once in your life.
Did you go to? It's only 9 minutes.
10 minutes.
But I was told I'm going to get 25.
10.
No.
10.
No. Call Shukla. Call anybody. Yeah. Did you manage to go to Florence, or did you only see the Amalfi Coast? Whereabouts in Italy?
Shoot in Florence, but I on my own little break after the shooting and everything went and discovered everything. But I didn't go to Florence. But yeah, I've heard that it's beautiful, stunning place.
Hrithik Roshan, I mean, every time I talk to him, I feel enriched because, you know, his philosophy of life and, you know, the kind of stuff that he talks about life skills is just remarkable. So your conversations with him on and off set must have been really special.
He's very wise. He's a very intelligent man, and he makes a lot of sense. He just doesn't talk for the heck of it. He makes actual sense. And I feel like whatever conversations that we have, one can only gauge that he's a wonderful person. You know, he's super warm. There's no mean bone in that man's body. You know, he's not mean at all. He doesn't have any grudge or anything that he holds against anybody. So that's a very clean-hearted person, straight. You know, who has good things to say about everybody, and he tends to know a lot about life. Of course, you know, he has a lot of wisdom to part when it comes to life and just life learnings, and also how to, like, you know, keep yourself centered.
In terms of war, you know, it's such a crucial film coming as it does at the time that it is, and coming off the back of, you know, Befikre, I thought you were lovely in that film. A lot of people thought the film didn't live up to its potential. Were you disappointed, or did you bounce back very quickly? What is your frame of mind, you know, post Befikre going into this particular motion picture?
Of course, there was a certain expectation that we all had from the film. We all wanted it to do, you know, well, because we all loved it, you know. And I know everybody works hard on their films, you know, so I won't say, oh, we work super hard, and, you know, unlike anybody else who works in their project. Every project is made with so much hard work and love that people put in. Yeah, so the expectations were a bit more, but at least there were a lot of people who did support the project. Like how you're saying, you liked the film, and there was Anupama Chopra, and there were several other people, you know, who I'm even talking to now, like when I meet journalists, and they're like, oh, but we loved the film and we really liked it. And my friends are like, oh, but we saw it on a digital platform and we really liked it, and it's so fresh and fun and so cool. And I'm like, thank you, be kind enough to like tweet about it, you know, and then I can retweet and I can be like, see, these are the many people who really did support the film. It does somewhere like break your heart a little, and I'm only human like everybody else, and I wanted it to do exceedingly well, but hey, you know what, not everything is how you plan it to be, and you can't get too attached to that plan in your head. Like, you know, there are hits and there are misses, and it's in everybody's life, and you only learn from it. Of course, it breaks your heart and you feel a little, oh, like, you know, but you know, genuinely, I really loved that film. So I couldn't even think like, oh, but, you know, I don't know if, you know, this, but we thought this and this didn't happen and this didn't work. For me, it worked, you know. So it didn't work for some impressionable minds. You know, a lot of people presume, like, they had a certain preconceived notion about it. And you know how you have a domino effect where one person thinks and it trickles down, and then, you know, the whole media and the whole, you know, on a digital platform, like, you know how you have these social media things there where the whole stroll begins, or this begins, or that begins, you know. So it just trickles down in a way where people are so impressionable, and then they don't even give it a chance. I think that's what happened to the film, unfortunately.
I loved your dance moves. How good are you? I mean, in Gungru, I see you busting those dance moves with Hrithik Roshan. I mean, he's the god of dancing. Was it you? Was it Bosky? You know, tell us about the whole dance and the choreography of it. Very impressive, Vaani.
Thank you. So Gungru is the whole Italy part that you're seeing is all Bosco. And then there's this cyrwheel swing pole section, which is choreographed by Tushar. So with Hrithik, I think we only had luckily I just had like one step to like do with him, and I didn't have to like literally like, you know, wasn't very intense. It was just like one step that I do. But even in that, like, he steals the show for me and for everybody, I feel. But I mean, I was crazy nervous. Like, I had all these collie wobbles in my head and heart and everything. Like, you know, like how you feel like, oh my God, what if I suck at it? And what if it just looks so bad and people just don't want to, like, you know, like cut you in the edit? And I don't know, you know, you have all sorts of things. But you know what? The fact that he was so relaxed about it and he was having fun, that I started to have fun, and it was just like a fun thing, you know, and we were just having fun. And it's a very cool step given by Bosco. I think it's a very relaxed, easy step, you know. So.
Do you kind of freak out before you have to wear a bikini the previous night, not eating and starving yourself, or you're chilled? I mean, you look hot irrespective, but I'm just saying.
I also tend to put on weight very easy, which is why I'm a little paranoid, and which is why I work out 2 hours in the gym every day, because I know that I do not have a very, you know, I don't have a willpower to like control my diet that well. I have at least 1 cheat meal a day, almost. So for that, I had to like skip my cheat meals, and I only had like 2 months to get into shape. So I was like rigorously working out, and I was like on a healthy diet, but I wasn't on a you know, like how people get into like diets, like proper diets, like where they're fasting and they're doing keto and this and that. I never went on to a diet like that, but I made sure that I don't eat high carb diets. That's all.
Are you a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl, or just a shorts kind of girl normally when you're not working?
Jeans and a tee.
Lovely. Listen, have yourself a wonderful day, and most importantly, I just hope that War becomes the big hit that you really deserve.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hrishi.